and welcome back to Tilly Floss Art. I'm Claire and this is my art studio. Today I'm doing a flip through of my Create This book to show what I've completed so far, and I'll also be completing one of the prompts in the book later on in the video. I wanted to do this so you could see where I'm up to at the moment, and especially since I will be doing more prompts in future videos. So, let's get to it.
Okay, so this is my book. I painted the front quite simply, and as you can see it's quite bulky already. Then the first page I just did some geometric shapes. I filled the empty box with my cats, of course, and added some rainbow, so some of the text, just to brighten it up a little bit. Then on the tips and tricks page I did some bubble writing, that was all. I've not filled this page in very much. The Create a Fancy Name page, I did some Zentangles all over the page, wrote my name quite blocky and again filled that in with Zentangles. The Create Rules page, I put some rules in and I did Class of 97 like a school scene, because that's when I actually started high school. Yes, I know, I'm old. One of my rules is to add a stick figure to each page, so that's what I've done, so keep lookout for that. Choose one colour. I obviously chose green. My page is a bit funky in the middle there where it's stuck. Create a page of the following lists. It's my likes and dislikes. So on this page I did all my dislikes in a home sort of scene, and there's lots of little details in there. And then on the other side I did all my likes, so everything that I love is included in that page. Page is a bit tall there, I'm going to have to sellotape that in afterwards. Create a music inspired page. This is actually a song and I'm wondering if you can guess which song it is. If you have any idea, drop it in the comments and I'll let you know if you're correct. There's lots of hints on this page. Create a page of garbage. I've done a recycling bin on that side, and then on the other side is just a stinky old tip. Create a pet. Make this page into a pet, don't forget to give it a name. So for this one I did a fluffy dragon because I've always wanted one, and I called her Suki. Create a page of polka dots. I went for a pop art theme on this page, I thought it'd be perfect. I didn't fill in the next page, create a recorded conversation, because I've still not thought of a good idea for this yet. Create an array of media. I've used all sorts on this page: gouache, Maganzi Tambi, Sharpies, digital art, watercolours, soft pastels. There's all sorts of different media on this page. Create a page of folds. I decided to do an origami page. It is pop-up. This one was quite fun to make. This one, create a page of letters, and what better than a Scrabble board. It took me ages to make the little Scrabble tiles, and actually it took me ages to make the actual board as well, but I love this page. Create a meal. I have my favourite meal here. So the starter is cho cheddar and chorizo fondue, the main spaghetti bolognese, and of course for dessert it's got to be black forest cake. Create simplistic drawings. Fill this page with stick figures. So I had fun doing this one, trying to put them in all different little poses. Create a family. I went for a Simpsons themed family, and this is my family. Don't forget to keep a lookout for all the stick figures, they are included on every page. Create a border. I just did a floral theme border for this one. This is one of my favourite pages, create an unusual combo. So I decided to turn books into shops and buildings. The titles of the books are all about what the actual buildings are. Again, this is a page of text, so it's slightly boring. I'm going to come up with something a bit more interesting for that. Create quick sketches. I did all these poses in a minute or less. Create a growth chart. I started from a baby and used the heads of dandelions all the way up to an old lady. Create a collection. This is my collection of the first lot of Mariah Elizabeth plushes that I got. Create a refusal. I refuse to refuse, so I cut the box out and stuck it back on the page after ripping it up. Create a bumpy page. I did a squiggle all over the paper and then filled in all the parts with different textures underneath and then just coloured it all in. Create a page of stripes. This is another one of my favourites. I went for a circus because stripes just remind me of clowns for some reason. Create a signature. For this one I did Mickey Mouse and an autograph book, and as you can see I've done a load of autographs on the inside and then a page of my autographs. The next one, create a page of wax. I went for a gypsy and then just wrote a little bit about what a gypsy is, and I used my Caran d'Ache Neo colours for this, but I didn't water them down, I used them as is. A pocket. I decided to go steampunk with this one because I wanted to make a pocket for a little stopwatch. I'm also going to add a chain to that eventually when I find my chains out. This one, create an ink block. I just did one of them pictures that you used to do as a child where you drip ink on one side of the page, close it and see what you get. It kind of looks like a scary mask to me. Create a page of stickers. For this one I turned it into a gallery wall, so I got a load of stickers from I think Temu of all different artists. Create directions, so you add your own direction into this, so I created a page of food animals. So we have my first squishy, which is very patchy. This is Jimmy Jamster. Then we have Lyra Lychee, Citrus, Kiki Kiwi, Peaty Pineapple, Flo Mango, and Derek Orange I actually made out of clay, and his eyes have fell off since, so I won't show you that one. Create a secret. For this page I had to use Poirot because he's my favourite detective, and I made a confidential top secret folder, and I'm not going to tell you what's in there. Create obscure shapes. I just did one really large shape and then filled it in with lots of lines. Then finally we have create boredom. For me, a blank wall is better than looking at football. So now that you've seen what I've completed so far, let's move on to a new prompt. The next prompt I'm going to work on today is create doodles, fill the paper with mindless doodles. You may notice that there's not actually a prompt on this page, but that's because I cut it out. I usually use normal printer paper for these books because it doesn't add too much bulk. I've also made a little template that I use to get the correct page size, so every time I do a page I can just draw around it and cut it out. I think I have an idea for this one. I find that I doodle most when I'm on the phone, especially to my mum, so I'm going to draw that kind of scene. I've sketched out a piece of scrap paper and a rectangle for my phone, and then added a few extra details like a post-it note and some loose paper clips, and of course a mug. I'm going to start by blocking in the larger areas of colour first. I'm using Ohuhu alcohol markers as always. And I coloured the background brown and added a wood grain texture so it looks like a desk. I coloured the mug to look like a nice frothy coffee. I don't actually drink coffee, but tea's a bit boring to draw and would be very boring to look at. After finishing the mug, I moved on to the details on the phone. Then I filled the paper with lots of simple mindless doodles that I'd usually doodle whilst I'm on the phone. For extra detail, I used a pink fine liner, and with a very light blue I added a margin to the scrap paper and lines to make it look like notebook paper. There are still so many prompts left in this book, and also I have Create This Book 2 and 3 as well that we need to go through. Now that you've seen what I've done already, we can just keep adding to them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!